Hey everyone, good morning and welcome back to another video. This morning I got started on a project. So I started on this project today because this project has a much higher urgency. Reason being is this. So my server crapped out about a week and a half ago and I've been working to get it back up and running again so I can use it. Well, I got it up and running and I'm using it, and there's another problem, and I need to open it up again, and it's very inconvenient to disconnect these drives, rehook all the wiring and such. So, based on the fact that I have this on a little cart here, I figured that what I am going to do is I am going to put together a proper server rack. Now, when I say proper, is take that with a grain of salt because it's not going to be a bought server rack since I don't have the money for it. But what I do have is this. That is an old style file cabinet. Those are the drawers. I did get started on this project, and when I got started I didn't think to film it. Told my wife told me pick up the camera and film it. So I am doing that. Now this is fairly early in this project, so it's a good time to start filming. Not a bad time, and it is actually after the point where I decided how I'm gonna go about doing so. So let's go through the motions and I'll show you what I'm doing. The width of this is 15 inches. Now, my server is, as you can see, 17 inches from side to side. And from top to bottom, it is 9 inches, or 9.5, let's call it that. The width of this is 13 inches. So obviously the server is not going to fit in this drawer, and it's going to be a little tricky to make it fit in this drawer. Well, instead of making the server fit in the drawer, we're going to make the drawer fit to the server. Now, how did I do that? Well, believe it or not, I think the easiest way was to cut everything in the middle, just like so, and just add supports in order to make it wider. Now, this is not an easy task, and this will require me to cut everything in the middle in half, just like I did with this right there. And the biggest part of this project is to cut this thing in half as well. Now, once everything is cut in half, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add support pretty much from side to side to tie everything back together. So this would be the concept. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna weld it or if I'm gonna do a mixture of lumber and welding, or I haven't really decided. But I'm thinking that on this larger piece right there that I'm gonna cut in half and extend, I'm gonna probably use a lumber frame to hold it together, and on the drawers I might weld pieces across just like that in order to create the necessary width. What I do need to make sure of is that all of this is going to be exactly the same length once I cut the pieces, so it will make it the same width. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Anywho, this is a introduction to what I'm doing today, and I think I'm gonna set up my phone somehow to film everything, so you'll have a little bit of a time lapse. Okay, so this was the last drawer I cut right there, and now it is time to cut that thing in half. So this is how the drawer is going to be closed, and I need to figure out how and where I'm going to install those extensions. Now, seeing how there isn't any space between the back and this and the bottom and the actual rail, I think all my extensions would have to be internal to this drawer and external to the rack. This is not going to be easy, but you know, good things are never easy. So I'm gonna attempt this, and I think the first thing I'm gonna have to do is probably create extensions from the outside to hold the whole body together, because if I have the whole body installed and ready to go, then it should be a lot easier to mess around with those drawers. Now, in theory, it shouldn't be difficult because the spaces on the rails have not changed, so everything should remain the same. The only difference is it's going to be wider, that's all, and that shouldn't create any problems unless it's not exactly the same new width. I might have, well, I don't think I'll have any trouble with these bars here because I'm expanding the whole thing and not contracting it. So if anything, I'll have more space between them. Okay, so in order to build this, what I'm going to end up doing is build a frame out of wood for the bottom, maybe even the top. But I got some leftover material that I can utilize. And the result is that this server rack is going to be pretty damn tall, but it will have 4 drawers and enough space for my server, a backup machine, and hopefully the network will fit in there as well. I was hoping to put my printer in there, but I don't see that happening unless I'll do some kind of a side shelf to it, which is possible. I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway, right now I gotta take a break and go eat. I had coffee about 2.5 hours ago, and since I eat everything in a 4-hour window, then I gotta take a break and go eat. Lunch, breakfast, and dinner all in one. So what do we got here? Got here a bunch of cheese, got here brie pepper Colby, got some pickles, got a burger for protein, got some smoked Gouda, got some Switzerland Swiss. These are all my hard fats that I pretty much every day to fill up. This is my 100 grams of protein, and this is my fiber. To whoever tells you that you need fiber in your diet, they have no idea what they're talking about. You can do fine with proteins and fats. I've been doing that for almost a year now. From time to time, I do supplement a little bit with fiber, but the amounts are very, very small. And whoever's wondering about that is bone broth. Yep, I drink it every day. So, let's eat, finish up, and get back to work. Okay, since my meal's over, it's time to get back to work. But before that, I need to do some dishes. So dishes are done and I'm about to go work on this thing, continue it. But before that, I want to check my glucose real quick, and you are welcome to join me. Okay, that's 10 minutes after a meal. So that is considered pretty good for someone who's considered diabetic. Okay, so from what I remember from the measurements, the server is 17-inch and the rack was 15-inch. I need to add 2 inches, but I think I'm gonna go with 4 inches. So I'm going to build a frame that's gonna be 19 inches. Well, let's make it 20, just for the hell of it. That is the general idea. This is going to be the bottom piece, and that whole rack is going to be sitting on top of it. And I'll probably put wheels directly on these. A couple like 4 casters straight up on this frame. Since now the bottom frame is complete, now it is time to actually mount it. Now how I'm gonna accomplish that? Well, let's take a look. This is what I'm about to pull off pretty much. This is the idea. The file cabinet is or was a monocoque based structure, but is no longer as such since it is no longer complete. Now, as a result, it's not very stable like that. But if I am able to pull this off and attach this to this end and that to that end, and add another frame on the top, or maybe just 2x4s, and do some 2x4s across the bottom or across the back of it, one here, one there, that should be good enough to reassemble it as a monocoque structure. quit working, ran out of battery. And what I did so far is this. So for the most part, I completed the server rack, and I've built a exterior frame out of 2x4s. Damn thing is very, very strong. I am in the process of putting on the caster wheels, and I think that after this I'll be done for the day. It's getting too hot to work on stuff, and it looks like it might rain very soon, so yeah. Anyway, do a time lapse on casters, I guess. Now, it's not completely ready, but it's very, very close to ready. I guess I will end the video here for today, and there will be a part 2 or not, we'll see. Alright guys, have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching. If you like the channel, please like, subscribe, and share.